one more step. We will take one more step till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word. We will say one more word till every word is heard by everyone. We'll say one more word. One more prayer. We will say one more prayer till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer. One more song. We will sing one more song till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song. When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. The Lord told Moses what to do. Let my people go to lead the tribe of Israel through. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. For you the cloud shall clear the way. Let my people go. A fire by night, a shade by day. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. We need not always weep and moan. Let my people go and wear these slavery chains forlorn. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go.
And we will sing one more song. This is, we will rise together from the new hymnal, Sing Out Loud.
We will rise together, you and I, rise together hand in hand. Come on, we will rise together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day where freedom justice rising like the sun. We will sing together, you and I, sing together hand in hand. Come on, we will sing together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find the way to justice rising like the sun. We will march together, you and I, march together hand in hand. Come on, we will march together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find the way to justice rising like the sun. We will dance together, you and I, dance together hand in hand. Come on, we will dance together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find the way to justice rising like the sun.
Please have a seat.
Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, ability, history, identity, gender, or sexual orientation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. Here's to this place where we bring a more just and loving world. Good morning. I am Myrna Brome. My pronouns are she, her, and often mom, if that was a pronoun. I am today's liturgist. It is a joy to be in community to serve you. I'm a little rusty on the bowl. Forgive that moment. We're grateful to have Jill Beckman-Games and Amy Brabson as our hymn leaders, and Marcus Hauk is our director of music ministries on piano over there. And Reverend Scott, he's without stole. I couldn't even identify him on drums. But the beat. All right. Thank you, Reverend Scott. If it hasn't already happened, please put your phones in worship mode. Today's worship leader is seminarian and friend, Ghana Hylton. Ghana Hylton is a seminarian at Meadville Lombard Theology School, pursuing a Master's of Divinity with the goal of becoming an ordained minister. Previously, she was a human resources director and events planner in New York City, and is currently the director of campus inclusion and business affairs at a university where she won the Outstanding Mission Award in May of 2005 and the President's Award for Student Services in April of 2004. Ghana's passion for music, inclusive leadership, writing, education, women's empowerment, social justice, and addressing the intersectionality of racism, sexism, and other oppressions. Reverend Scott and Reverend Anya will return on August 9th, the return to service. If you are new or have any questions, please find one of our greeters. They're in the back with the red stoles. For those with children, ask a greeter about the creative engagement tool in the Henley Welcome Center in the back. And hello to Mr. Henley. We also have a nursery downstairs for kids 6 and under. We live stream our services. While we can't guarantee that you will not be caught on camera, it is our intention to focus our cameras on our worship leaders. If you're new to our congregation, welcome. We hope you find us lovely, as I think we are. And I hope you will fill out our connection card, which are also in the front of the pews or in the back in the Welcome Center. Let us reach out to a few folks near us and offer them welcome and love.
Let us open our senses to take in the beauty. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another, to love one another. Let us open our senses to take in the beauty. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another, to love one another.
Let's take a moment to thank those who have gathered to have made a community. Special thanks to Nick Lewis for creating this month's chancels display. And let's celebrate. I'm going to give that a moment, if you can see it. Okay, yep. Beautiful. And let's, okay. Let's turn to our leader. Thank you.
The Meaning of July 4th for the Negro by Frederick Douglass, a speech given in Rochester, New York, July 5th, 1852. Gosh, I feel short. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him, more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty, an unholy license, your national greatness, swelling vanity, your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted imprudence, your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of the United States at this very hour. Go where you may, search where you will, roam through all the monarchies and despotisms of the old world, travel through South America, search out every abuse, and when you have found the last, lay your facts by the side of the everyday practices of this nation, and you will say with me that for revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy, America reigns without a rival.
Let's take a moment to thank those who have gathered, who've made a community. Special thanks to Nick Lewis for creating this month's chancel display, and let's celebrate those who've made service possible, our custodians, greeters, ushers, tech team, teachers, Connection Cafe facilitators, and worship leaders. Thank you. From gratitude comes generosity. Did you know that the average pledge member pledges a UU Montclair $2,700 a year? Yet we find ways to share. For the month of July, we'll be sharing our riches with the Good Success Academies, a multiracial program that focuses on at-risk young people. Founded in 2010, with the mission to prepare high school youth for college, career, and life, the program provides structured summer activities for teenagers and leadership training. You can text UUCM PLATE and your amount to 73256 to give. Mail us a check with PLATE in the memo, or simply place your gift in the offering basket. And community, please know that all of your gifts are worthy, as they are all received with love. Ushers, please come forward.
Bronstein. I am the co-leader of the pastoral care team. Called to find depth in our days and discover reverence in this hour, we seek a gentle meditation, a focused reflection, and ardent prayer, each as we are called, and yet mystically all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the requests, and the remembrances of our community. Let us hear one another to heal one another. Adrienne DeVore lights this candle of remembrance to honor the 3rd anniversary of the passing of her mom, Josephine Jackson, who passed away on July 18, 2023. Micah DeCianti lights this candle of gratitude. Micah is grateful to be recovering well from gender-affirming surgery. He is thankful to live in a state that protects this access to care and to have health insurance cover it practically 100%. Above all, he is grateful for all of the healing energy sent his way. Amy Brabson lights a candle of remembrance for her mom, Annie Brabson, who died 2 years ago today. Amy sang to her as she took her last breath, "One of the biggest blessings of my life," she writes. Rest in peace, Mama. And we light this final candle for the joys and sorrows that are deeply felt but have not been spoken aloud. May we hold this silence as the silence holds us. May our listening inspire acts of love. Please continue with me in the spirit of reverence as I share the spoken prayer. Creator of all, as believers in justice, woven into a single garment of life, making us one with the human family, let us rejoice for those who safely passed through the shades of night towards the daylight of freedom. Spirit of all possibilities, may we be blessed with true freedom, free of all oppressions. Spirit of hope, with grateful hearts, we lift our voices in shared solidarity, holding each other safe in the fire of justice and the light of love. May it be so, and amen.
We are dancing Sarah's Circle.
We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing Sarah's circle. Siblings, cousins, all.
Here we seek and find
Here we
our history.
seek and find our history. Here we seek and find our history. Here we seek and find our history. Siblings, cousins, all.
We will all do our own naming.
We will all do our own naming. We will all do our own naming. We will all do our own naming. Siblings, cousins, all.
Every round a generation.
every round a generation, every round a generation, siblings, cousins, all.
On and on, the circle's moving.
On and on, the circles moving. On and on, the circles moving. On and on, the circles moving. Siblings, cousins, all.
Our ancient reading is from Micah 6, verse 8. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Our modern reading is from Bell Hooks. To be truly visionary, we have to root our imagination in our concrete reality, while simultaneously imagining possibilities beyond that reality.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mother sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mother sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. That which touches me most is that I had the chance to work with people, passing on to others that which was passed on to me. To me, young people come first. They have the courage where we fail. And if I could just shed some light as they carry us through the gale. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. The older I get, the better I know that the secret of my going on is when the reins are in the hands of the young who dare to run against the storm. Not needing the clutch for power, not needing the light just to shine on me. I need to be one in the number as we stand against tyranny.
All right, come on, people.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Struggling myself don't mean a whole lot. I have come to realize that teaching others to stand up and fight is the only way my struggle survives. I'm a woman who speaks in a voice, and I must be heard. At times I can be quite difficult. I'll bow to no man's word.
Okay.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Sing with us.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Hey.
All right. Put myself on the platform so I don't feel so short right now. All right. How y'all doing today? Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. How y'all doing today? All right, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for being here today on this beautiful summer day. I really love summer, especially after the winter that we had. That winter was just diabolical. I mean, the temperatures, the snow. I mean, right away, winter's not my favorite season anyway, but it was extra this winter, right? Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me. I like spring, the new flowers coming out. I like fall when the leaves change. But I do have a special place in my heart for summer. I do. Summer is that time of year where, hopefully, if it's not rainy weekends, the weather's warmer. It's that time of year where we get to take vacations, maybe go on some trips. And there's a slew of holidays in the summer, from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So most recently, we celebrated Juneteenth on June 19th, and of course, Independence Day on July 4th. I was lucky enough to be keynote speaker for the Essex County Board of County Commissioners, that's a mouthful, at their Juneteenth celebration. That was a nice honor. And of course, it was the 250th anniversary of the United States, marking 2.5 centuries since the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. That's the document that says in writing that all people are created equal. That one. And even though summer is my favorite, absolute favorite season, I've got to admit, I'm pretty tired of this nation celebrating freedom, as if they know what it really is. I was lucky enough to be raised knowing about Juneteenth. And just for giggles and laughs, I'm going to take us through a real quick history just to level set the room so we know all what we're talking about. Not everyone was raised knowing what Juneteenth was, and that's okay. It wasn't always taught. We're catching us up to speed, right? So a lot of people got kind of happy and was like, oh, great, Lincoln freed the slaves, woo. But it was really more of a political move than a tug at his heartstrings. Lincoln wrote, "My paramount object in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not either to save or destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that." Okay, indifference. 1862 is when the Emancipation Proclamation was written, but a lot of people don't know it only freed the Confederate state slaves, not the Union. Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Delaware, Kentucky, Missouri, etc., were Union states. In fact, New Jersey was legally classified as a free state, but they had this thing called apprentices for life. It was their loophole to get around the word slavery, but still keep you enslaved. Fun times. So no freedom for the Union states, just for the Confederate states, in case you didn't know. In 1865, almost 3 years later, that's when the 250,000 people in Texas were still enslaved. And the military came to town and was like, no, y'all supposed to have been freed these people. Now, you got to remember the enslaved people, you know, they couldn't read, they couldn't write for the most part, because it was illegal to teach black people to read or write. It wasn't like there was some newspaper they could have seen the title to, or a TV show where they had just breaking information, or even a radio, right? This was back when most of their lives were on the plantation. They didn't really get off that much. Some slaves got to go to town here or there just to kind of hear what was going on in the news and bring it back, but for the most part, slaves were on that plantation, and that was that. So the Texans found out almost 3 years later that they were actually free, and that's where Juneteenth comes from. Texas lying by omission to get 3 more years of labor, free labor, out of their slaves. That never felt like a celebration to me. Like, oh, we found out y'all was lying, okay. But I understand why Texas noted that date and why it was so important to them. By the way, New Jersey was the last northern state to approve and ratify the 13th Amendment months after it had already become part of the U.S. Constitution, so shade on New Jersey. So once the slaves were freed, what did freedom look like? Imagine you can't read or write. You only know how to do the 1 or 2 things you were trained to do. You might own a pair of shoes, a dress or 2, but maybe not. You probably dressed in rags. You might have been barefoot, and you probably didn't have any education. Where were you going? What were you going to do for work, housing, income, transportation? It's not like you owned the mules and the horses. Everything in your life was owned by the master. You had absolutely nothing. Even the clothes on your back came from the plantation. Don't get me wrong, of course people were happy to be free. They just didn't know what to do with it. Freedom didn't look like opportunity and upward mobility then. Not just yet. Some left the plantation, but many stayed behind and entered sharecropping, which was like 1 click away from slavery. Terrible. Lesson for another day. Later that same year, in 1865, slavery was officially abolished for everyone, North and South, by the 13th Amendment, but it had a catch. Enslavement labor is okay as punishment for a crime. This is key. At that time, it led to things like black codes. Black codes were rules that different states had, and they were crazy rules. And really, I'm gonna boil it down for you. They were just meant to try to get people enslaved so they could be what? Free labor, because the loophole said so. If you were in jail, you could work for me for free. I can't keep you as a slave, but if you're arrested, you can work for me for free. Everyone follow along with that? Crappy rule, right? Some of the black codes were ridiculous. They were like this. A black person had to carry employment papers at all times, or, say it with me, they could be arrested. They could be arrested. A black person without a job was subject to be arrested, exactly. Black folks couldn't have gatherings of more than 5 people, or they could be. They couldn't gather after dark, or they would be. Blacks couldn't hold jobs of skilled trades, even if they learned one on the plantation. Most of the jobs that they were allowed to do were agricultural or menial labor, meaning sharecropping on the farm, okay? Judges could decide that children of unsuitable parents were apprentices and bind them to white employers, frequently the former slave owners of their parents. They couldn't conduct church services, own property, vote, marry whites. There were heavy fines, and if you couldn't pay the fine, you were? You're catching on. All right. So that loophole still plagues us today as mass incarceration, the school-to-prison pipeline, convict leasing, and prison labor. Delaney Hall comes to mind, but sermon for another day. Now listen, we have made progress in this country and in this state, but systemic change. It's hard to do that when racism is poured like fertilizer into our roots, just like misogyny, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, homophobia, all of those learned behaviors. Everything that grows in this land that we breathe in, sleep, and eat is tainted and stained by those biases. It's like cancer-causing pollution that you can't even see anymore because you've been living with it your whole life. It's been ingrained into American culture. How deeply? Well, certainly right after slavery was abolished, the waters were a little choppy. 1892 in Tennessee, 3 black men co-owned a store called the People's Grocery. A white local competitor claimed that his business rivals were conspiring against white residents. So a mob surrounded the store, brutally murdered the 3 successful men. 1898 in North Carolina, that was the Wilmington Massacre, where heavily armed white supremacists overthrew the legitimately elected biracial city government in the only successful illegal seizure of government power in U.S. history. The mob destroyed the city's only black-owned newspaper, burned the black businesses, and killed dozens of black residents, forcing hundreds to permanently flee. 1911, a black man and a white sheriff were killed over a stolen cow inquiry. When the black man was dead, his wife and son were arrested and held on murder charges. An armed white mob broke into the jail and hung the mother and son from a bridge. Townspeople posed for photographs near the hanging bodies. These images were subsequently reproduced as souvenir postcards and distributed around the country. 1917 was the St. Louis race riots. 1918 in Georgia, Mary Turner was brutally murdered by a white mob for denouncing the lynching of her husband, Hazel Turner, the previous day. She was 8 months pregnant. They tied her ankles together, hung her up upside down, and set her on fire. Between 1865 and 1950, there were over 6,000 Black Americans who were victims of lynching. 1999 in Arkansas, 1921, Black Wall Street, where a 19-year-old youth bumped into a 20-year-old white elevator operator, and the newspaper said that he had attacked her. The local mob came, and not only did they chant outside the courthouse to lynch him, they looted and burned down Greenwood, a prosperous and affluent Black neighborhood filled with Black banks, Black businesses, and Black homeowners, resulting in 300 deaths and the destruction of 35 city blocks. No one was ever charged in the deaths or the destruction. 1923, Rosewood. 1944, George Stinley, a 14-year-old boy, is executed, the youngest ever. 1951, an NAACP organizer and his wife are killed in a bombing at their home Christmas night. 1955, Emmett Till, accused of whistling at a white woman, lynched, beaten, and brutally murdered. The two men were charged and acquitted by an all-white jury. Protected by double jeopardy, they gave all the gruesome details to a magazine. Later, the accuser admitted that her courtroom testimony was entirely fabricated. Does this sound like freedom to you? Well, maybe we just needed a little more time to pass, and freedom would find us. 1963. Medgar Evers is assassinated in his driveway. He was the head of the NAACP there, well, secretary. 1963 again. The Ku Klux Klan planted a bomb at a church, killing 4 little Black girls. 1965, that was Bloody Sunday, when the peaceful march across the bridge ended in violent attacks from the police and vigilante groups. 1965, in New York City, Malcolm X was assassinated. 68, Martin Luther King was assassinated. Well, the 60s were a pivotal time. A lot was going on then. Maybe we just needed a little more grace to get to that freedom that we were promised. 1984, Eleanor Bumpers, an elderly disabled woman who was being evicted. She didn't want to leave, so the police broke in and fatally shot her twice with a 12-gauge shotgun. 1985, in Philly, the MOVE bombing. The Philly police dropped a bomb on a residential home that housed the Black revolutionary organization MOVE. The bomb and ensuing fire killed 11 people, including 5 children. 1989, Yusef Hawkins. 1991, Letitia Harlins. She was killed by a convenience store clerk over a $2 bottle of orange juice because they incorrectly assumed she was shoplifting. The clerk who killed her was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter but given probation and no jail time. 1997, Abner Louima. I can't even tell you the horrific abuse the cops put on Abner Louima. 1999, Amadou Diallo. He was shot and killed in his apartment stoop by 4 NYPD officers who claimed that they had mistaken him for a rape suspect from a year earlier. They fired 41 shots, striking him 19 times. He was unarmed. Ghana, girl, you talking about old stuff. Stop talking about old stuff, bringing up old stuff. That was last century. Yeah, surely freedom looks good on us now, right? 2013. Jonathan Farrell crashes his car in a rural road, and he goes to a nearby house to knock for help. The homeowner called the police, who shot Jonathan 10 times when they arrived. 2014, Eric Garner was selling cigarettes. You're not supposed to do that without a permit. He didn't have one. Instead of giving him a fine, they put him in an illegal chokehold and killed him while he was saying, "I can't breathe." 2015, Sandra Bland was arrested at a traffic stop on her way to an interview. Something went wrong. She got arrested, she got put in jail, and she was found hung in her cell 3 days later. They said it was suicide, but when they checked the dash cam, the officer was placed on administrative leave for failing to follow proper procedures, and then later he was fired for lying. No one ever went to jail for that. Breonna Taylor, she was killed while she was sleeping, 2020. George Floyd, that's always a good one. On his neck for 9 minutes because he passed an illegal counterfeit $20 bill, but it wasn't illegal. The $20 bill was real. We got angry. We cried out, when is this gonna stop? We said, Black Lives Matter. We demanded change. We cried out, no justice, no peace. And we held signs that said, I can't breathe. Not one reform, not one new law. 2021, Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day into law, making June 19th a federal holiday. Great. 2023, Cyrus Carmack Belton was shot in the back of a convenience store for being suspected of stealing a bottle of water. The surveillance camera showed he did not steal a bottle of water. 2025, Mercedes Wells was ignored. She was crying for help. The nurses told her, go home and wait for your labor to progress. She gave birth 8 minutes later on the side of the road in her car. 2026, Jared Jackson, 28, found dead after attending a music festival with his white friends. They said it was a suicide, but the family insisted on an investigation. This case is still pending. 2026, Tennessee, Darius Chaplin, 4 police officers attacked him, tased him, pulled out his locks, and said, get the dog out. They let the canine dog maul him while he was on the ground. Days later, he died in custody. The case is still pending. 2026, officers responded to a shoplifting call about diapers being stolen. They opened fire on a moving vehicle containing a toddler, his mother, and another adult. 1-year-old Cohen Wiley died. The family had a receipt for the diapers. The case is still pending. 2026, Black 18-year-old athlete Nolan Wells and his white friends went on a 4th of July trip where he was reported missing, but all 3 of his friends returned. They had his cell phone. They all deleted their social media accounts. They unfriended him on social media. They all obtained lawyers. One of their fathers is a judge. They all claimed they have no idea where he was, and they thought he was getting a ride back with someone else. This case is still pending. The freedom we have as Black people does not include safely sleeping in our beds, safely vacationing with friends, complying with police, going to a store for Skittles or water or juice, being unarmed, or having our car break down on the road. How can I feel safe when my Black husband, sons, daughter, friends, associates, classmates are walking on eggshells in the free America that others thrive in? Institutional racism affects all of these stories. Whether we have a Black president or not, a Black friend at work, a TV show with Black family, a Black movie star, a Black person on the Supreme Court. Systemic racism doesn't mean every person, every judge, every cop, every teacher, every doctor you meet is racist. Of course not. It means the very ground is damaged, and every one of us is operating from that foundational instability. The education system, the prison system, food deserts, the legal system, the housing system, the job market, the medical system, redlining, every single system is broken in the foundation. We raised our voices. We demanded better schools, fair policing, fair legal systems, equitable medical treatment, accountability from gun owners, police, judges, hoping that this capitalistic society would find human life more valuable than mere profits or property. That our lives are so much more important than a pack of diapers that you think is being stolen. I want to acknowledge the Texans who marked Juneteenth for decades, the immigrants who came to this country holding the meaning of Independence Day in their hearts, the indigenous people who have honored this land, the enslaved people who made a way out of no way. I want to acknowledge the many people who championed these holidays so our history could be recognized and remembered in these important ways. And I ain't never mad at a day off. But I want you to know, without a shadow of a doubt, until we start demanding true, substantive change for all of us and actually get it on all fronts, there is absolutely no holiday that will ever, ever be enough.
I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I asked my sibling, come and go with me. I asked my sibling, come and go with me. I asked my sibling, come and go with me. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way.
There is a quote from Fannie Lou Hamer that reads, "None of us are free until all of us are free." This concept has its roots in an 1883 poem by the Jewish American poet Emma Lazarus, who wrote, "Until we are all free, we are none of us free." America celebrates freedom as an achievement. Scripture proclaims freedom as God's gift. But if our neighbors are still burdened by injustice, then freedom is nowhere near complete for any of us and is still a calling. Despite what the 4th of July or the 19th of June tells you, we are still asking what freedom looks like. We need to stop asking and just create the actual free world that we all so richly deserve. In the name of all we deem holy. Amen. Now let us share in unison our chalice extinguishing. Our worship has ended. Let service begin. Go in peace. Go in joy. Go in love. Amen.
As far as I know, ask Jill. Jill would know. I wouldn't know. Jill would know. One of the singers today. I'll ask her right now.